Hello Super Friends, it's James again, and we're back for a very special one-off podcast all about Mortal Kombat. No, I'm not going to bother doing it. I hate the fact I did that. Anyway, Warner Brothers they've released it now. Their fourth animated feature movie, Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match, which is out on DVD and Blu-ray as of the 16th of October. And it features, obviously, the iconic and incredibly sassy Johnny Cage, voiced by Community's Joel McHale, as he embarks on an entirely different journey. We're taken back to 1980s Hollywood, and Johnny is an amateur actor, and he's looking for his big break, but things go south when his co-star goes missing, and he tries to figure out what the deal is. And as that plot unravels, he becomes tied up in another battle between Earth and the Netherworld. It's a lot of fun. It feels very much like a buddy cop movie, and yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. The Mortal Kombat movies, especially the animated ones, have been kind of my doorway into the franchise. I'm not very good at the video games. They're a bit too complicated for me. I'm not very good at getting those combos down. So I just end up mashing one move repeatedly. Anyway, what was I saying? I've completely gone off track. Alright, this is why I need someone to control me when I do one of these podcasts. Let me just regain my thoughts. What was I saying? My goodness, I've completely forgotten. My trail of thought has gone. That's it. To celebrate the release, of Cage Match, we had the absolute pleasure of talking to Kelly Hu. If you're not familiar with her, I'm a huge fan. She's had such a big kind of history in animation, TV and film. She was China White in CW's Arrowverse, Lady Deathstrike in X-Men 2. She was in the Scorpion King, and she's done a lot of voice work for the Mortal Kombat world, a lot of the games, and now the animated films. She voices Ashra, who was a absolute badass, and her and Johnny have such a really kinetic and fun relationship in the movie. I think when I spoke to Kelly, I kind of compared it to a buddy cop movie, and it really did feel like that. And what's weird about that is, you're dealing with Mortal Kombat, who are kind of famous for their fatalities, their finishes, the actual combat itself, the fighting styles, the kind of flamboyant characters that you're dealing with, and their many different unique abilities and skill sets. And we've got this really fun and often kind of light-hearted story of someone trying to make it in the acting business, and the two complement each other so well, and in a weird way they shouldn't, but they do. It works really well. And yeah, if you're a fan of the franchise, if you're a fan of the Johnny as a character, then you're gonna absolutely love this. So yeah, we're really excited to bring you this interview. We're able to talk about our own personal connections with the franchise, the characters, and just the kind of process of voice acting. So yeah, give it a listen, let us know what you think, and enjoy it. Hi Kelly, my name's James from Get Your Comic Con. It's an absolute pleasure to be talking to you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. It's so cool to be talking to you today. I mean, we're talking Arrow, X-Men, the Scorpion King, and so many voice acting roles. This super cool, and what a film it is. I had such a good time with it, and yeah. To begin with, I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit about Ashra, where we find her in Cage Match.
She is a character that comes up almost right away. I mean, she's the first thing you see her in is this huge action fight where she just destroys this house, right? And the action doesn't stop there. Of course, it's just fight after fight after fight in between all of Johnny Cage's sarcasm. There's like so much action going on. Yeah, and she's very much the foil, the very serious person, in contrast to Johnny's sarcasm and smarminess in this.
It was interesting because you're two kind of polar opposites, and to me it kind of felt like a buddy cop movie in a way where you're both forced to work together under extreme circumstances, and just the way that you bounce off of each other. And like for me as kind of new to the Mortal Kombat kind of franchise, it was a really good entry point to kind of learn more about characters that I haven't seen before. So being able to see them and experience them in new ways was great for me. I mean, I've been absolutely loving the animated movies so much because that was my entry point for the Mortal Kombat franchise. So thank you for kind of making me aware of new and interesting characters that I haven't met before.
I have to say, I'm a lot like you because I don't play video games. And so all of the characters that I play on Mortal Kombat, and there have been quite a few in the video games, they're all brand new to me. Like I don't know any of these characters before I play them. And I love that you like the way Johnny and Ashra sort of bounced off of one another, because we were never in the same room as actors. Joel and I, we were always I was always in there by myself. So it just goes to show that the directors were able to really do a great job in sort of getting us to where we needed to be to make it seem as though we were in the same room bouncing off of one another.
And that's one of the things I love. I'm a huge like anime voice acting, just animation in general. I love it so much, and that's one of the things that has always struck me as the most compelling thing is you guys are acting in scenes that you're not actually part of physically. And I was just wondering, what's it like trying to record those kind of intense fight scenes that Mortal Kombat are known for, but also the kind of like the bantery relationship that you have with Johnny, especially when he's not actually there with you.
Well, doing these action scenes are there. For some reason I'm always cast in these action roles. So, it started with on-camera action and then just sort of rolled into animation action and video game action. And I'm always playing these badass characters that I am nothing like in real life. I get to be so much more of a badass on screen than I really am in real life. In real life, I'm just so quirky and geeky and like I love that I can get away with it.
Yeah, that's the good thing about voicing is you're really able to embody these kind of different characters. And I mean, you kind of answered one of my questions. Is I was wondering, you've done a lot for Mortal Kombat. What is it about the franchise that kind of that keeps kind of bringing you back? What is it that you kind of looked at Mortal Kombat as a franchise and the characters and was like, okay, I'm enjoying this.
Well, it's legendary, right? I mean, somebody mentioned to me that it's been going on for like 35 years. I mean, I don't know of another franchise that's, well, I guess Star Wars has been going on forever too, or what I mean. But it's truly like, so many people have just grown up with it, and it's been a part of our lives, so and so many characters. This universe is enormous. So for me, I love that I get to play so many different characters because this universe is just endless.
And kind of in comparison to doing, you've done a lot of voice work for the video games, and what's it like in comparison to doing it for an animated feature? Did you get a lot more freedom in terms of what you could do instead of just like the openings or the fatalities? Was it a lot more freeing?
Yeah, I mean, for the animation, I guess you get more of a storyline, right? You have something that I'm sort of more familiar with doing as an actor. You've got like, definitely your first act, second act, third act. But I think the biggest difference is also the time that it takes. I've done so many video games where it takes like years for it to come out. And by the time, it comes out in DVD and some kid is handing you the DVD to sign at a Comic-Con, you're like, wait, did I do that? Like, I don't even remember that I voiced a character in that. But yeah, so definitely there's the time that it takes, there's a big difference there.
And the animation was it was a lot of fun because it kind of embodied everything that is Mortal Kombat. But it was just like you said, the narrative is there, the story's there, the characters there, and just the way that you and Johnny just kind of interacted. It was really fun to see like a badass character, but also one that could have a little bit of fun while also being kind of like the restraint of it all. Is you were there to contain Johnny from being a bit too over the top, and
Right.
it just
Somebody's gotta.
someone's got to keep him on a leash. He was so much fun, and yeah, I had such a good time. And what I was wondering as well was, you've mentioned that there are loads of characters in the Mortal Kombat universe, and they all have their own unique personalities and tricks up their sleeves, fatalities, move sets. And what was it about Ashra that you really liked?
This character, well, first of all, she looks so cool. I was so impressed with the way she looked and moved. I mean, last night was the first time I actually got to watch it in its entirety, with the music and seeing all the other characters and their scenes. But yeah, the animation is just as bloody and violent, and yet so fun to watch. It's so yeah, I think people are not going to be disappointed, and definitely with all of these 80s references and things like that, I think that it's going to be people I think are going to be surprised at how fun it is, and all the 80s stuff with the music that just like really takes you back.
It's a good mixture of sort of like the 80s aesthetic, but it's also so rich with all that Mortal Kombat stuff, the mythology, the visuals, the monsters, the creatures, and also the combat as well. And it's just a really good combination, and it worked so well.
Yeah.
But I think fans are gonna absolutely love it. I know I did. And when you're not into the video games like I am, and there's nothing against that. They're really tough. I don't know how to do the combos. They're really tough to get into. So I rely on these
I just don't have the manual dexterity,
No, exactly. But yeah, I mean, just to wrap up, what do you think fans are going to love the most out of it?
I think whether or not you are familiar with all of these characters, because they all come out, right? There's so many of these characters that come out, that people who are fans of the games are going to be so impressed and so excited to see their characters, popping out in different parts of the film. But I think that also, even though you're for those of us who are not familiar with the video game, just the fun dialogue, the 80s references, all of the music, all of that. I mean, I think people are really going to be able to enjoy the film.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It's been a real pleasure, a real highlight of mine personally. So
thank
you so much for just talking me through it all. And it's been absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait to talk to other fans and gamers about this film once it's out. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That was Kelly Hu on Mortal Kombat. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure talking to her. I'm a really big fan, so I was very excited, and yeah, being able to talk to voice actors is one of my favourite things, because it's such an interesting insight into basically a craft which isn't just acting. It's you're embodying a character that not only isn't real but has no physicality. There isn't a set, there aren't props. It's just you in a booth, and the film plays. I assume the film plays silently while you read while they read the lines. But yeah, you're in such a personal space, and there's no physicality to it. There's nothing to really kind of latch onto. So to be able to kind of just kind of get into character and go away, I really, really do admire. So yeah, it was really good, and I'm very, 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 very proud of that one. So yeah, Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match is out now on DVD and Blu-ray as of the 16th of October, and it's actually on digital on the 17th. If you pick up the DVD and Blu-ray, you'll actually have access to a few special features. A step inside the voice acting booth with some of the voice actors, Joel McHale and Jennifer Grey. And again, that'll give you a really nice insight into what it's like to be in being a voice actor. There's also a audio commentary with producers Rick Morales, Jim Craig, and screenwriter Jeremy Adams. And much like the voice acting featurette, you'll be able to kind of really dive into the decisions, the choices, and actually the process of animation. And I think what these featurettes and special features do, they kind of elevate the enjoyment, because you get to learn about it. You get to learn the passion behind it, how much fun the actors had, how much fun the animators had. And yeah, I just feel like it adds an extra level of enjoyment knowing that fans of the franchise, people who are passionate about the Mortal Kombat universe, constructed this story and brought these characters to life. And yeah, just adds that extra layer for me. And yeah, I really hope you guys, especially the fans, rush out and watch it. It's a real treat, and yeah, I can't wait to see what they do next. Like I said, the movies are a great sort of in for certain new fans, and even fans of the games. It's always good to get kind of different iterations of their favourite characters, to see how they're brought to life in kind of circumstances. The Johnny Cage here is a perfect depiction of the Johnny Cage, but the circumstances are different, the story is different, and yeah, I always like to see what they can come up with. So I'm very, very excited for whatever they have planned next. So yeah, let us know what you think if you grab your copy, and yeah, enjoy Mortal Kombat's Cage Match, and yeah, please do let us know in the comments, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching, Super Friends. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button just down below and hit the bell so that you can get notified whenever we release brand new videos. In fact, there's 2 more waiting for you to watch right here below. So what are you waiting for? Why not click play?